Hello guys, welcome back to the Brutal Investor channel. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. In this episode, I'm going to cover one of my most favorite projects in the crypto space and a project that I think has an incredibly high potential, and I think this is a project that will have its own bull run, and it will kind of dictate the price of several other cryptocurrencies within its ecosystem. And this project is called Polkadot, right? Or the DOT token. Again, as always guys, I highly recommend you guys to do your own research on any of the projects we cover on our channel. And for this project, I recommend you guys to go to their website polkadot.network in order to learn more about this project, right? So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use the information presented below CoinMarketCap in order to present you with an overview of what Polkadot is, so that you guys can do your own in-depth research before you invest any money on this token. So what is Polkadot? Polkadot is an open source sharding multi-chain protocol that facilitates the cross-chain transfer of any data or asset types, not just tokens, thereby making a wide range of blockchains interoperable with each other. So again, as they stated on CoinMarketCap, it's an open source sharding multi-chain protocol, which means it's a platform that is fully open source, which means anybody can access its codes. It's highly scalable, and it implements a method called sharding, which makes it extremely scalable, and it's a multi-chain protocol. So it's all of these best qualities combined in one platform, and that's Polkadot, right? And it also facilitates cross-chain transfers of data and assets. So again, not only can you transfer tokens like cryptocurrency tokens, but you can also transfer data as well as assets, which means you can also transfer NFTs in a cross-chain manner through Polkadot, and thereby making it a better option for people who want extreme interoperability with Polkadot, as well as who want to facilitate multi-chain activities with multiple different blockchains, right? So Polkadot allows you to have that option. This interoperability seeks to establish a fully decentralized and private web controlled by its users, and simplify the creation of new applications, institutions, and services. Again, the main focus of Polkadot is interoperability, apart from scaling, as well as offering the best possible services that both institutions can use as well as retail investors can use, right? But it also seeks to fully be decentralized and a fully community governed or community controlled project, and allows for the simplified creation of applications on top of it, right? And also allows for the creation of institutions and services to be built on top of it. So again, that's how powerful this project is. The Polkadot protocol connects public and private chains, permissionless networks, oracles, and future technologies, allowing these independent blockchains to trustlessly share information and transactions through the Polkadot relay chain, again, which is explained further below. So again, overall, Polkadot, the platform basically connects any type of chain that it can in a fully permissionless environment. It can also connect oracles, different types of oracles, and any future technologies as well. So it's kind of built in such a way that it can support pretty much anything and everything that you can throw at it, right? And it's also able to allow independent blockchains. Let's say, for example, Ethereum and let's say a new blockchain called XYZ chain, right? It basically allows those two blockchains to connect together through Polkadot, because Polkadot has the ability to connect with multiple different blockchains in a smooth and interoperable manner, thereby trustlessly sharing information between them in a fully decentralized manner through its Polkadot relay chain. So when I talk about the relay chain, I'm talking about the core architecture of Polkadot. So the core architecture of Polkadot is divided into two components: the relay chain, which is the backbone of Polkadot, and the parachains, which are multiple chains which are their own blockchains that connect to the backbone, that is the relay chain, right? So there's a relay chain which is connected to multiple different parachains, right? And we'll talk about the parachains further down the line. So Polkadot's native dot token serves three clear purposes: providing network governance and operations, and creating parachains by bonding. So they have their own native token called the dot token. So what does this dot token do? It's just another cryptocurrency, right? No, it's not just another cryptocurrency. It's actually a token that serves very important clear purposes. So it's a token that is able to provide governance within the network. So that's very important. And by having the dot token, you are able to participate in the operations of the Polkadot ecosystem, which is also very important for the sustainability of the platform itself. And if you need to create parachains, let's say for example you are a blockchain developer and you created your own unique blockchain using Substrate, right? And you want to plug that blockchain with Polkadot's relay chain, you need to have bonded dot tokens in order to be able to participate in the parachain slot auction, which if you win, you will be invited to connect with the relay chain. So again, you need to have dot tokens in order to bond your parachain to the relay chain. So that's one of the main use cases for dot, right? So there are four main components to Polkadot. So now that we are talking about a little bit more detailed about the architecture, instead of the two main components, let's add two more and thereby make it four components. The first main component is obviously the relay chain. So what is a relay chain? It's basically Polkadot's heart, helping to create consensus, interoperability, and shared security across the network of different chains. So again, the relay chain is the heart of Polkadot, and it allows every single consensus mechanism to happen within the Polkadot ecosystem. It allows for interoperability. So the main interoperability nature of Polkadot is attributed due to its relay chain, right? And it also creates a shared security between the multiple different parachains. So again, imagine this: Polkadot is like the engine of a train. It kind of is the relay chain is basically the engine of the chain, and the other compartments of the train forms the parachains, which is being pulled by the relay chain, right? So you can kind of imagine that as an analogy by how Polkadot works. Since there are multiple different kind of like parachains within the Polkadot ecosystem, the security of these parachains are very important. So they need to be extremely secure because they're storing a lot of information, a lot of money, and a lot of user data, right? So the relay chain is the main has the main role of protecting the security of the entire ecosystem. So that's what the relay chain does. And the second component, which we already discussed, is parachains. These are basically independent chains that can have their own tokens and be optimized for specific use cases. Again, these are independent chains, which means they're their own blockchains that can have their own tokens. So these parachains can have their own native tokens and can be optimized for specific use cases, which means you can create one parachain for DeFi applications only, and the other parachain specifically for NFTs, and the other parachain for so on and so forth reasons, and they can do whatever they want with no issues, provided they kind of like are accepted as a part of the parachain auction, right? But once they become the parachain of Polkadot, they enjoy the security, interoperability, and scalability of the whole Polkadot ecosystem, right? And there are two more less well-known components of Polkadot which are also very important. And the first one is Parathread, which is similar to parachains but with flexible connectivity based on an economical pay-as-you-go model. So what's the difference between a parachain and a parathread? Parachains are slots of so if you own a parachain, you're basically not actually owning the parachain, you're basically leasing out the parachain for a specific period of time, right? That's what parachain means. If you don't pass through the kind of like the parachain model, you can choose to become a parathread of the Polkadot ecosystem, whereby it's the exact same thing. You get all the benefits of being a parachain, but except instead of leasing out, you're basically paying as you go. Whenever you use it, you're basically paying as you go kind of model, which means you have to bond Polkadot dot token as you are using the platform, right? So that's how Parathreads kind of work. It's a slightly different mechanism, but it serves pretty much the same purpose and it has all the same benefits as a parachain, right? Bridges, this is also a less well spoken about because Polkadot is trying to take market share from multiple other blockchains, and thereby bridges are the main ways by which Polkadot is getting people to use the platform. These bridges basically allows parachains and parathreads to connect and communicate with external blockchains like Ethereum. So again, one of the main bridges that's obviously being built is to Ethereum, because Ethereum, obviously you guys know that it's the largest smart contract platform currently, and it's suffering from scalability because it's one of the oldest blockchains that supports the kind of like smart contract platforms. And in order to bridge between Polkadot and Ethereum, there are multiple bridges that allows parachains and parathreads to kind of like interact with Ethereum, right? So that's basically it. So who are the founders of Polkadot? So I think this is something that many people know, but for people who don't know, Polkadot is a platform that's founded by the Web3 Foundation, which is a Swiss foundation founded to facilitate a fully functional and user-friendly decentralized web as an open source project. So that's basically what Web3 Foundation is. Web3 Foundation is the foundation that created Polkadot, and it's a Swiss foundation. And the founders of Polkadot are basically Dr. Gavin Wood, Robert Habermeyer, and Peter Saban. So these are the three main founders, with Dr. Gavin Wood being the most popular one. Wood, the Web3 Foundation's president, is the most well-known of the trio thanks to his industry influence as Ethereum's co-founder, Parity Technologies founder, and the creator of the smart contract coding language Solidity. So the great thing about Dr. Gavin Wood is that not only did he create such a wonderful system like Polkadot and Kusama, right? He was also the chief technology officer of Ethereum, because he worked with Ethereum. He worked very closely with Vitalik Buterin. So he's one of the smartest people in the crypto space right now. And he also founded Parity Technologies, which is also a very important company that kind of like is very closely working with Polkadot and the Web3 Foundation. And he also created the smart contract coding language Solidity. So if you think about Ethereum's dApps, they are all coded on like a programming language called Solidity, right? So Gavin Wood, or Dr. Gavin Wood, was the person who actually wrote that programming language. So that's insanely, that should tell you how insanely smart this guy is. So, and he's also a very popular figure in the crypto space. Habermeyer is a Thiel fellow and accomplished blockchain and cryptography researcher and developer. Saban is the Web3 Foundation's technology director with a wealth of experience across highly specialized fintech industries. He is currently helping to develop a new generation of distributed technologies. Again, this paragraph talks about Habermeyer as well as Saban, who are also very accomplished and very experienced people who are working on who worked on Polkadot, right? So what makes Polkadot unique? So the main question that anybody who's in the crypto space right now wants to know is, what makes Polkadot very unique? Because if you see, we cover on a daily basis new blockchain projects which have their own tokens, which are also highly scalable, highly interoperable. They also have their own bridges to Ethereum. So what makes Polkadot very different and unique? So that's the point that we're going to cover right now. Polkadot is a sharded multi-chain network, meaning it can process many transactions on several chains in parallel, called parachains. This parallel processing power improves scalability. So again, the main thing about Polkadot is that it has multiple parachains. In fact, the maximum limit is 100 parachains, but these 100 parachains at a given time can simultaneously work side by side without affecting the speed or scalability of Polkadot. But by working side by side, they become the super kind of charged platform, which in an ideal situation, the relay chain would basically do its thing, whereas the 100 different parachains that are linked to the relay chain will also do their own independent things, whereas the entire network is running smoothly, right? That's basically how Polkadot works, and none of this activity that we discussed right now disrupts its scalability or affects its scalability, which is the coolest thing, right? Custom blockchains are quick and easy to develop through the Substrate framework that can be connected to Polkadot's network within minutes. The network is also highly flexible and adaptive, allowing the sharing of information and functionality between participants similar to apps on a smartphone. Polkadot can be automatically upgraded without the need for a fork in order to implement new features or remove bugs. So again, one of the second main unique features of Polkadot is that it's a platform that has its own programming language called Substrate. Similar to how Solidity is a programming language for Ethereum, Substrate is a programming language for Polkadot, right? And also Kusama, obviously, but we're mainly talking about Polkadot here. So if you learn to code in Substrate, which is relatively easier compared to several other programming languages, and you create a dApp or a blockchain, right? You can basically easily plug it with Polkadot in seconds or minutes, right? It's very quick, it's very seamless, and by doing that, you're being a part of one of the most popular blockchains, and thereby getting more users, because many people will be continuing to use Polkadot for a very long time. Even though it's not currently live yet, I think people will literally swarm in once Polkadot parachains go live, right? And also, whenever you upgrade anything in the Polkadot ecosystem, you don't have to worry about a hard fork, which means you won't get Polkadot chain cache or Polkadot chain S3 or whatever, something like that, right? You'll basically get the hard fork done with no, you'll basically get the upgrade done with no hard forks, and you can also do the same thing by removing bugs and not affect the security or any of the parameters of Polkadot, right? So that's one of the main unique features of Polkadot compared to other projects. The network has a highly sophisticated user-driven governance system that also helps to secure it. Communities can customize their blockchain's governance on Polkadot based on their needs and evolving conditions. Nominators, validators, collators, and fishermen all fulfill various duties to help secure and maintain the network and eradicate bad behavior. So again, some of the other reasons why Polkadot is very unique is that it has a very strong and robust governance system that also helps it to secure the network. So again, Polkadot's network is going to be one of the most secure networks, because it will have a lot more attraction, a lot more interest, not only from retail buyers, but also from institutional participants who want to participate in the Polkadot's DeFi and NFT space that's coming pretty soon. And also, if you see, the community is obviously like evolving, and whenever a parachain gets added to the Polkadot blockchain, the parachain can choose to have its own governance ecosystem, which is completely independent of the Polkadot's governance ecosystem altogether, even though it is a part of the Polkadot ecosystem, right? So that's very cool. You have flexibility when it comes to the different parachains, and also all the nominators, validators, collators, and fishermen, they basically help secure and maintain the network and eradicate bad behavior. So again, there are several important qualities of Polkadot that makes it extremely unique. So how is Polkadot's network secured? So one of the main questions that people will ask about a particular blockchain is that, how is this platform secure? Why would I trust my money on this platform? And how to ensure that this money that I'm investing in this project or the network doesn't get hacked, or it's extremely secure, right? So Polkadot's mass interoperability through a set of common validators helps to secure its multiple blockchains and allow them to scale their transactions by spreading their data across many parachains. Again, one of the main ways by which Polkadot achieves its interoperability is through common validators, is through a set of common validators who basically help secure the multiple different blockchains, which are the parachains, and also ensure that their transactions are extremely scaled up by spreading the transactions through multiple different kind of parachains, right? So it's kind of like one huge unit moving together in a smooth, seamless manner, right? The network uses the NPOS, or the nominated proof of stake mechanism, to select validators and nominators and maximize chain security. Again, They do use proof of stake, but the proof of stake that they use is a nominated proof of stake, which is a slightly different category of the proof of stake ecosystem. And this is how they basically select validators and nominators to maximize chain security, right? So the unique validity scheme enables chains to interact with each other with each other securely under the same rules, yet remain independently governed. So this is the best thing, right? So there's something like unity in diversity kind of phenomenon in Polkadot parachains, where all those parachains form the entire Polkadot ecosystem, but they have their own independent pathways that they can take to do their own thing on Polkadot, right? And that's the best thing about Polkadot that will definitely attract a lot of people. So this is overall going to cover the overview of Polkadot and what it does and how it works. For more information, please go to the website polkadot.network, and that's basically where I'm going to leave it at. Going back to CoinMarketCap, this token is currently ranked 9th by market cap, and it's currently trading at $12.26 at the time I made this video, and it's currently up 11.53% in the past 24 hours, right? Although the market is kind of slowly recovering, I think the token is extremely undervalued regardless of the market, because this is a project that can explode like crazy, right? When you take the market cap itself, the token's market cap is $11.9 billion. Again, for someone who is a new investor, they may think that that market cap is extremely high. Why is this token extremely high when there's no active ecosystem yet, right? Yes, the Polkadot parachain auctions aren't live yet. In fact, I think we are still in the middle of Kusama's parachain auctions, which is Polkadot's canary network. So immediately after that, I think Polkadot's parachain auctions will go live, and that is going to create some huge, price influx into cost influx into the Polkadot network, which will drive the price of a DOT token significantly high, right? But again, when people say that there is no real active use case for Polkadot currently because there's nothing really actually working on Polkadot right now, yes, it's true, but at the same time, you have a long list of projects that are literally waiting for the parachain slot auctions to go live so that they can all participate. In fact, Polkadot crowd loans are going to be significantly higher compared to Kusama's crowd loans. So if you don't know what crowd loans mean, remember we were discussing about how a project needs to bond DOT tokens in order to participate in a parachain slot auction in Polkadot. So the project can either put its own money from its own pockets to buy DOT tokens, which it can bond, or it can ask everybody else, like the retail investors who hold DOT tokens, to contribute our DOT tokens for the project, so that if the project gets enough contributors to back it up, they can still win a parachain slot auction, right? So this term is called parachain slot auction crowd loans. So these crowd loans kind of allow for people to take part in their favor. They kind of vote on the project by donating their by lending basically their DOT tokens for a fixed period of time, where the DOT tokens will be locked, but at the end of the period the users get their DOT tokens back. But what will the users get by locking the DOT tokens? The users can get the project's native tokens as rewards when they participate in crowd loans, parachain crowd loans, right? And this is a huge deal, and currently we have Kusama's parachain crowd loans still in progress for several different Kusama projects. And when Polkadot's crowd loan starts happening, I think a lot of projects will extremely be fighting tooth and nail to get a parachain slot auction. Thereby they'll have severe marketing campaigns for crowd loans and so on and so forth. It will be a really good time to participate in a project at the ground level, right? The best thing about it is you'll get your DOT tokens back. You will also get the project's native token at a very cheap price. But the only caveat is that you have to lock your DOT tokens for a decent period of time, which if you're planning to hold DOT tokens for the long term, then that's not even a bother, right? So you have so many activities going on. There are institutional investors who are interested in investing in DOT and who are excited to participate in the DeFi platform for DOT, as well as DOT tokens interoperability. It's already available on the Binance Smart Chain, so it's available pretty much in several other blockchains as well. So it's kind of like a very important token at this point, and it's still only worth less than $12 billion or even $15 billion in market cap, which makes me feel like this token is extremely undervalued. Again, this is my personal opinion, not financial advice. But if we take the total supply, it doesn't really have a max supply, but total supply is 1 billion tokens with a circulating supply of 977 million tokens in circulation. So again, you can clearly see that pretty much all of the tokens are in circulation, and that's basically a very important thing to note because there's no price slumping, which means the price can only go up, right? If you take the charts, for example, you can clearly see that, I'll turn on the Bitcoin comparative. So the dollar comparative shows that the token price was $2.76 in August 20th of 2020, which was a bargain price point. If you had gotten a huge bag of Polkadot tokens at the time and held it right now, you'd still be in significant profit, right? But the token price was pretty much moving sideways, or it was less than $5 per token till the end of last year. And since then, the token has been pumping like crazy. It first of all touched the price point of $39 in mid of February, and then it reached an all-time highs of $48, and then it again crossed its $48 and slightly higher than the $48 mark by May 2021 before crashing back down, and now it's kind of in a declining trend, right? So there have been several people who have accumulated Polkadot in this price range, and people who have not only accumulated Polkadot, but people who have bought Polkadot and staked it, and when you stake it, you get more Polkadot rewards. So you can either stake it in a decentralized manner in Polkadot.js, where you'll get somewhere between 13 to 15% APY, but you can also stake it in a centralized exchange such as Kraken to earn 12% APY, right? So there's a lot of Polkadot tokens staked, and therefore there is a lot of tokens that's going to also be staked in the crowd loan as well as parachain loan auctions, which is going to cause huge price spikes for Polkadot, and that's going to cause its own Polkadot bull market, right? So that's going to be really exciting to see. So if you see the Bitcoin comparative, you can clearly see that the token price hasn't been that great in Bitcoin comparative as like the dollar comparative, but the price was initially worth 24,000 Satoshis per token initially last year, but it went immediately to like 50,000 Satoshis per token, but it was kind of like moving sideways with no real exciting activity till the end of last year, and early this year was when the token prices started pumping, and then it reached an all-time highs of about 90,000 Satoshis per token, and then now it's kind of in decline, right? So now in the dollar comparative as well as Bitcoin comparative, this is the best time to get into Polkadot if you don't already have some. I don't think the prices will stay at this price point for too long. If you don't really get into Polkadot at this stage, you may miss out on huge gains. Again, not financial advice, it's just my personal opinion, right? I think the Polkadot parachain auctions and Polkadot ecosystem going live is going to be a huge event of 2021, which is also probably the most anticipated event apart from the Ethereum 2.0 update. Ethereum 2.0 could probably be delayed, but Cardano smart contracts is also one of the most popular events of this year, and this is probably going to be the peak of the bull market for this year when Polkadot's parachain slot auctions go live and when Polkadot ecosystem itself fully goes live, right? But if you see the markets where it's available pretty much in every single centralized and decentralized exchanges. I mean, not decentralized exchanges necessarily, but technically it's available on PancakeSwap as a BEP20 version. So you can say that it's available on decentralized exchanges as well. But overall, it's available on Binance, Huobi Global, Coinbase, Kraken, KuCoin. Again, as I said, since PancakeSwap is not here, I'll mention PancakeSwap. But if you want to buy the native token, you can get it from Binance, Huobi Global, and Coinbase, right? Then these are some of the best exchanges with lots of liquidity. So what's my final verdict on this token? Again, Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency to cross the $1 trillion mark, which it did in 2020, right? Early 2020. The next question is going to be, which is the first $1 trillion altcoin, right? So for now, at the time of making this video, it is obvious that Ethereum is going to be the first trillion-dollar altcoin, right? But as soon as Polkadot's ecosystem goes live and also Cardano's ecosystem goes live, there's going to be huge competition between Ethereum, Cardano and Polkadot. And my personal opinion is I believe that Polkadot could potentially be a likely candidate to be the first trillion-dollar market cap altcoin in the crypto space. So Ethereum is probably going to get delayed. Ethereum 2.0 is going to get delayed. Ethereum is great, but I think Polkadot is basically Ethereum 2.0, but at the present, right? It's not going to take long time to complete the parachain slot auctions on Polkadot. Based on Kusama's auctions, it seems like everything is going well in Kusama, which means Polkadot slot auctions are going to go live pretty soon. And if you see, at least 70% of all DOT tokens are staked, and the remaining percent is being piled up by institutions, retail investors and all that in order to participate in crowd loans, and many platforms themselves hold huge amounts of DOT tokens in order to bond and be a part of the parachain, which means there will be a lot of DOT tokens that won't be unlockable, and as the demand increases, the DOT token price is going to skyrocket. And I think the short-term price range for DOT token is close to $50 to $60 per token. It already reached $48 without even having a full ecosystem live yet, right? Once it does have an ecosystem fully live, I think by the end of this bull run, this token can reach somewhere between $50 to $60 per token in the short term. In the long term, this token can easily cross $150, $200 per token, and it may even in the extreme long term may be worth $1,000 or more, right? Because Polkadot, once the ecosystem goes live, it's going to create a cycle, because remember the Polkadot parachain auctions are just a lease, which means after a point of time, once the lease period is over, the tokens are unlocked and people can potentially dump the tokens, right? Which is going to cause a price slumping of the DOT tokens, which is going to allow for more people to buy for the next parachain auction, which is going to cause the price to rise again. So you can clearly see that Polkadot will have a very predictable wave pattern, and sometimes depending on how much Polkadot is in circulation, the wave pattern could go parabolic, because there's going to be more demand and less supply, and Polkadot is going to be fully interoperable with every single platform out there. So it's going to be one of the best places for institutions to park their money, and that's going to literally shoot the price of DOT tokens to the moon, making it one of the most likely first altcoin contenders to reach the $1 trillion market cap, right? And I truly believe that Polkadot has a full capacity to do that. It's only going to be a matter of time to see if this actually happens in reality, right? Again, remember guys, you guys are not regular investors, you guys are brutal investors, so stay brutal. Thank you very much for watching my video guys. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. See you in my next video. Bye.